Hello everyone. This video is going to be about when you have a friend that is going to do narcissistic abuse. Primarily, whether it be spousal or more a friend that's dating or living with a narcissist but not married. And I can relate to both of these. Um, all of us have learned ourselves what to look for in narcissism. In other words, we've all have empowered ourselves to educate ourselves about what narcissism is, the signs to look out for, and we all know the signs because we all are narcissism survivors. We've all been through the abuse ourselves, but what about when you have a friend, whether it be a neighbor or somebody good friend that is going through narcissistic abuse in their own relationships, particularly in a marriage. I, on the other hand, I guess some people would say that the relationship that I have between my fiance's ex-wife and I, that we get along well, we talk. Um, she greatly respects the relationship that I have with her ex-husband, and she greatly respects me, and we have a good relationship. And recently, well, I know she's been married to this guy for about a little over a year. Um, just basically just charmed his way into her life. He had nothing to really bring to the table. No car, works under the table, of course, and the rest is history. And he taunts her, tries to make her crazy, always believes he knows everything, and always has the haunting attitude. Here's a real big classic sign we know is a narcissist is the thinking that I'm always right and everybody's wrong. And when you see it in in a friend that's married or living together with somebody and that's experiencing narcissistic abuse, and you know real well yourself of what it's all about because you've experienced it yourself um, through parental, but the concept still even applies for um, a narcissist as a spouse. It's still the same concept. It's just not parental. And me and my fiance and my fiance's ex-wife, we had a really long talk, and all what we could really do is just to give her advice and educate her what narcissism is, and we have. And she's really told me all the things that he has done to her, and um, her husband's mother always takes his side, and really just takes her car, doesn't even make an effort to get his own vehicle, and all he can think about is himself. And all he wants to do is to control her, keep her at home, and her just being trapped at home. And she's been really my fiance's ex-wife. I'm not going to mention her name for publicity reasons, but she greatly has been really inspired by me to lose weight. And um, just last week, I just recently weighed myself and I lost another 4 pounds last week. So altogether, I've lost 49 pounds. And she told me herself that I have inspired her And that really makes me feel good to know that I could inspire somebody to lose weight. It means a lot to me. And I just gave her some tips and pointers and, what to do to keep going. And of course, all I could do is give her advice. But anyway, getting back to her story, um, my fiance and I, we both educated her what narcissism is all about. Because my fiance had a narcissistic father, and of course I had an enabling narcissistic father, starring my mother as the main narcissist or the main star narcissist. And we both really shared to her our experiences and what to look for. I mean, everything she told us, we knew that it was just pure, outright narcissism. And all that we could possibly do is to give her advice and just tell her, point out the signs, share to her our experiences. And our big worry is we want her to divorce this guy because this guy is a real loser. I mean, what guy doesn't have his own things to bring to the table, but wants to use her and to control her? And to me, that's just not cool. I mean, I just kind of told her, I said, it's time at some point you're going to have to take your power back and take your car back and just kick it to the side. But she doesn't want a divorce because she thinks that if I wait a while, put up with it for a while, things will change. And I basically told her, I said, honey, I don't care how long you wait, it's never going to change. And I kind of really shared to her my experience of my first marriage, to the father of both my daughters, which he passed away about 2 or 3 years ago. But I thought of the same things with my first marriage. Thinking, well, if I really wait until things turn around or wait for things to get better, it's going to get better if I just give it more time. And I was married to my husband at the time. I was married to him for 11 years. I think waiting 11 years is long enough. And eventually met somebody who's now my fiance. And but when I met my fiance, I was very, very upfront with him. I said, hey, I'm still legally married. And basically he says, well, what are you doing here alone? And I just basically said, well, I'm just not happy. And everything's became history since then. So, anyway, just sharing to my fiance's ex-wife, just telling her that the longer you wait, you're just really putting your own happiness on hold. I mean, me and my fiance, we gave her all angles of advice, everything about narcissistic abuse. And we basically told her, hey, we want you to be happy. But you know what? I mean, she said she doesn't want a divorce, but she wants to leave him. It's like, basically, this sounds like to me she's just straddling the fence. And I've told her that. So, when somebody can't make up their own mind what they want to do, basically what you have to do is just educate them about what narcissism is, the signs, and show them how it relates to their own situation. And all you can do is just to advise them. I mean, as much as my fiance and I would just love to just see her just kick this loser to the curb and just really cut him out of her life, we can't worry. I mean, we're concerned, we care, but at some point, we had to say, okay, we did what we could. We were there for her, we listened to her, and we basically just gave her advice, shared her our experiences, educated her about narcissism. My fiance and I, we've done everything that we could. So basically, we just told her, hey, the choice is ultimately yours. The choice is ultimately yours. And that's what you have to do. If you have a friend you're so concerned with that's married to a narcissist, all you can do is educate them about narcissism, share your personal experiences, and then share to them and show to them how it applies to their, to your friend's marriage or relationship or whatever it is. That's all you can really do is educate them because they have to make that decision. I mean, as much as you badly really want to make them leave, you can't because it would just cause a lot of undue stress to yourself, and it's really not your fish to fry. I mean, yeah, you want the best for your friends, you want to see them happy, you want to see them, succeed in life, but at some point, you just gotta kind of have to cut that off and say, hey, okay, I gave this person the advice that they need, shared my experience about what narcissism is, and really showed how it relates to my friend's situation. So now all I gotta do is say, hey, to my friend, that okay, the ball's in your court. The decision's ultimately yours. I've listened to you. I've given you my advice. Now it's the decision's up to you, and you just have to let it go. I mean, as painful as it is, because it is painful, because I really, really do care about my fiance's ex-wife, and we're kind of like sisters in a way. We really are. And even though she's older than I think she's like in her um, early 60s, so to say. But anyway, I've my fiance, like I said, my fiance and I just basically advised her to just, you know, advise her what she should do. Balls in her court, and you just gotta let it go. I mean, it's much, like I said, it's very, very painful to sit there and see a friend or someone that you really, really care about go through this. But it's not your battle, unfortunately, because why try to make somebody do something that they are reluctant to want to do right now? It's basically you just have to sit back and just let the reality really hit that person. And that's what I have to do with my fiance's ex-wife, is that my fiance and I just have to just sit back and just let the reality hit her and learn the hard way. And unfortunately, I mean, it's the sad reality. But you yourself, you have your own life to live just as much as my fiance and I, we have our own lives to live. We got our own issues. I mean, we have a great relationship, but we have our own issues and things like that, um, and who doesn't? It's like basically, on the show, we just have our own fish to fry, and it's really completely out of our own control. Secondly, another experience I'd like to share with you too is that I have a neighbor that lives in the apartment building that I live in, and she's really. Um, I've told her about my channel, and she comes from a very narcissistic family, from what has described to me. And her boyfriend that she lives with, um, unfortunately, has one of those Brady Bunch families, like the Leave It to Beaver family. Everything's all hunky dory. Everybody gets along. We talk about our problems, stuff like that. One whole happy family. I mean, a normal family. And he doesn't really get it as far as what her family is all about. And I really haven't, and I've always offered to come talk to me. She has my phone number, I have hers, and I mean, I educated her when I could, and I just, for her, it's kind of hard for her to try to talk about these things when her boyfriend's around, and she doesn't get much opportunity to talk about things to me. But she's been wanting to meet with me. I said, hey, you need to call me. You need to let me know. We can meet somewhere, someplace neutral, or let me know when your guy's not here, and and we'll go from there. And so basically, I offered her a time because I can't sit here pestering her and say, hey, when you want to talk, when you want to talk, say, I have my own fish to fry. I got things I got to do. And I just can't be put on standby. But like I said, I do have a neighbor that's experiencing what she's described to me is narcissistic abuse. And unfortunately, her man don't seem to get it. And I just kind of told her, it's like, well, if he doesn't get it, he doesn't want to be supported and be on board with you, then you just need to let him go. So, how many of you out there has really has somebody you really care about that's going through narcissistic abuse? Whether if it's really spousal or parental or whatever form it takes, and you're so concerned for them, you know yourself the signs of narcissism because you've overcame, you survived, and at some point found closure or haven't found closure yet, whatever your situation is. But you know very well what narcissism is because you spent time Googling it, watching YouTube channels like mine and many others, and educating and empowering yourself. But have any of you out there really experienced a friend going through narcissistic abuse? You know, and I want to hear your story and share with me if you have anybody that is going through that and you're giving them advice. Share to them your personal experiences and try to guide them the right way. And I'm sure it feels very, very stressful to wish that they would leave their narcissist, but really, it just looks like most likely they just straddle the fence, you know, most likely. And it's like you want so much for your friend to really turn that leaf, and all you can do is advise them, give them your perspective on things, and you just gotta let it go because you have to work on you. You're important. I mean, you could be that friend to listen, but also give advice, share your experiences, and let it go at that. Because stressing yourself out and wasting all your energy into your friend to really get their crap together, it's not going to help you. I mean, it might to a certain point maybe give you some somewhat peace of mind, but not, or I guess a false peace of mind type of thing. But you don't want to get too wrapped up into your friend's situation because then you lose sight of getting yourself together. I mean, you're overcoming narcissistic abuse and empowering yourself and recovering and healing and doing all things you can do to make yourself the best, healthiest you that you could be. But just don't allow your friends' problems to overtake you to where you lose sight of taking care of you because that should be number one priority. But all I could say is that you can just advise them. I mean, listen to them, of course. I mean, listen to what they have to say. And then just basically give them your feedback and tell them what you think. Give them the advice. Share to them your personal experiences. And just say, okay, I've given you my advice. This is what I think. You need to leave this person. You need to cut ties. And this is why, blah, 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 blah. And just say, hey, the decision's up to you. And you just gotta let it go at that. And go back to working on you. Because you're important. So I thought I'd share that. I mean, I've talked all types of things about the narcissistic abuse that I've been subjected to by my narc family. And making videos out here that many of you have suggested or some ideas have popped in my head. But I just thought that this was kind of like a unique spin in a way of having the experience of knowing somebody that's going through narcissistic abuse In my case, spousal, as well as I got a neighbor that's not married but lives with her boyfriend, that her family is narcissistic and her boyfriend's isn't. It's like the Brady Bunch family that people want and desire to have but don't. But this guy just doesn't get it, and I just kind of just let the chips fall where they may, and that's what you gotta do. So anyway, um, don't know what the next video will be, but all I can just say is just stay tuned. So this is Mary Ellen signing off. Thank you. Take care. And above all else, I wish you peace and happiness. Take care for now. Thank you for watching.